Hello everybody. Let us today study the different factors that have to be considered while fixing the compensation, that is salaries, allowances or wages of employees and workers. We know that compensation management is a process of designing and implementing compensation package that is very effective in accomplishing the objectives of the organization. It has a lot of importance in HRM because it not only attracts the right kind of talent to our company, but it also helps in retaining good employees, talented employees in the company. It helps in developing new or rewarding desired behavior among employees and workers. A good compensation package must also ensure that there is internal equity as well as external equity. We will see what these two terms mean. And from the management's perspective, it should control costs and it should not be overcomplicated to implement. There has to be ease of operation in the compensation plan that you design and implement. Before fixing the compensation of your workforce, you have to consider certain important factors. These factors are of two types. The first type is internal factors. Internal factors are those factors which are within the organization or the company. Let us have a look at the important internal factors that have to be considered while fixing compensation of the workforce. The first internal factor is we have to consider the employee's worth. Every employee working in our organization or coming to our organization is going to be different. Hence, while fixing the compensation of an employee, we need to carefully assess the value of that employee to our organization. By employee's worth, I mean the knowledge possessed by the employee, his skill set, his abilities, which can be of immense use to the organization. We have to consider his level of experience, because experience, if a person has experience, it means that he will require less training or no training, so our costs will be cut. He will work on his own without supervision, and in fact he will be in a position to guide and help others with their work. So usually for an experienced person, we pay more as compared to that of an inexperienced person. This third dimension of employee's worth, apart from knowledge, skill, abilities and experience, is his seniority. Usually senior people expect to be paid more as compared to freshers. This is called as internal equity. Apart from knowledge, skill, abilities, experience and seniority, we have to consider the performance of an employee. Because remember, one of the most important objectives of compensation management is rewarding good performance. And another important dimension of employee's worth is his potential. What do you mean by potential? Potential is that untapped talent, that untapped abilities of that particular person that can be of immense importance to the company. An example that can be taken here is of IT companies who hire fresh IT graduates. But they offer them very, very attractive compensation package because these companies know the potential of these freshers. So we have to consider all these dimensions to assess the worth of the employee. The second internal factor is job worth. Here we are talking about how important or crucial that particular job position is for the organization. So we are referring to the role that particular job plays in the overall growth, development, profitability, and well-being of the organization. We know that there are numerous job positions in a company, and not all the job positions are equally valuable to the organization. Some job positions do not require people who are highly qualified and skilled and experienced, while other job positions are key positions in the company and they require only the best talent to work on those positions. So the jobs which are key positions in the company have to be compensated, have to be paid more as compared to those whose job worth is relatively less. The third important factor that we need to consider, that is the management strategy. Every management has got its own compensation strategy that lays out the company's point of view on how it will determine pay and benefits for its employees. Management strategy about compensation is the alignment of compensation resources to the business goals of the organization. It helps the management or the company to decide where it wants to compete and how competitive it needs to be and what it wants to reward, exactly what kind of performance, exactly what kind of talent it wants to retain and reward in the company. A good example that can be given in this regard is of Microsoft. If you have seen the compensation package of Microsoft, then there is a lot of importance given to long-term incentives in the form of employee stock options. It means that the longer an employee stays with Microsoft, the more loyal he is towards Microsoft, he will be in a position to gain more through his compensation. So the message that the management wants to convey to its employees is very simple, that is of shared destiny. You work hard for Microsoft, you be loyal to Microsoft, and Microsoft will give you stock options and you will be a millionaire the longer you stay with us. If the company does well because of your hard work, then you are going to be benefited from that. So it's going to be a shared destiny with the company. So they are using compensation as a retention tool. We could also take the example of another company, that is Netflix. It is said that Netflix pays its employees almost 25 to 50% more than its competitors. And with entry-level coordinators working at Netflix making 6 figures salary. Vice presidents at Netflix earn a minimum of $1 million. Now, why is Netflix management paying so much more as compared to the market average? The answer is simple. They know that there is not many creative people out there and they want to attract only the best, most creative minds to Netflix and retain them also. So management strategy is aligning compensation resources with the strategic goals of the organization. The fourth internal factor which we need to consider is the firm's or the company's ability to pay. Take an example of a company that is on a growth path. Its business is thriving, people are demanding its products, it's making huge profits. Obviously, the company will try to expand, may even try to diversify, and in any situation, whatever strategy it chooses to grow, it is going to want to attract the best talent that is available out there. And in order to attract the best talent and retain them, this company, with the ability to pay them that much, will definitely offer a compensation that is much higher than the market average, just like Netflix. On the other hand, take an example of a company that is not doing so well, and financially it's not very well off. In that situation, even if the management of the company wants to attract best talent towards it, they are not able to do so because they are not able to pay a very, very attractive compensation to people. And because of that, they might fail to attract the best talent that is available out there. So the company's or the firm's ability to pay is also a very, very important internal factor that we need to carefully consider while fixing compensation of our workforce. In the next lecture, we will have a look at the external factors that have to be considered while fixing compensation of the workforce. Thank you.